Alright guys, it's currently 6:10. I just got off work from the winery. Came here, sun doesn't set till about 8:30ish, so I can get a few hours in. I think what I want to do right now is I want to get this wall put up that's going to divide this clean room from the actual CNC routing machine. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along the wall right here, along this concrete edge, and just put wood down, and we'll frame up a wall here. And that's what I'm gonna work on for this evening. Let's get to it.
So I know I said I was gonna start working on that wall, but after thinking about it, I decided to wait. I wanted to pour the concrete first, which having that wall there would have blocked off my ability to really work on that section there. So I ended up waiting, and this was about the same time that I stopped recording regularly. I kind of just stopped forgetting about it, or I got too busy.
Howdy. This is going to be episode 5. I haven't been filming a whole lot recently just because I've been focused on getting stuff done. It's just been a little easier on me. Still getting used to trying to film and do all that videography stuff. So lots of it gotten done. Today's going to be more of a progress update video. You can kind of see it over in the corner of the screen over there. Got some new wood up, which we'll go check out here in a second. But yeah, so today's gonna be more of a progress video, so let's get to it. One of the big things is I got the door working now. So we got a working door, which is pretty nice. This all opened up. We'll go in more detail, but we got back wall put up, CNC's hanging out, chilling where it's going to be for the next foreseeable future. Electrical, but I'll grab you and we'll go walk through it all.
To be honest, I think I got a little distracted because in my timestamps, this is what is next in my recordings. Decided that I wanted to build shelves so I can get some of the stuff cleaned up before I did the walkthrough. So yeah, here's a little shelf building time lapse.
Alright, we got the electrical box over here. Power coming in from the pole outside and opening right here. Got the CNC power supply, and then the vacuum table, 60 amp, 70 amp, 3-phase. Vacuum pumps right here. We're working on how we're going to pipe it up. I think it's going to come up over, drop back down, kind of right here. See it all. And then we got this back wall put up. Still some small stuff I gotta go fill in. And the actual CNC itself, I haven't really shown too much. The powers to it is good. I'm getting some error codes right now when I'm trying to start it up. Something with the motors. So I'm waiting on the CNC guys, the multicam technicians, to get back to me. We can figure out what's going on. And then over here we got the power supply box for the actual CNC. All the servo motors. Stuff. Electrical just comes up and over and drops right here. And then we also got this wall put up. Concrete's poured too. I don't even remember if I showed that. And I'm getting this little shelf workstation put up. And then over here currently is what I'm working on next. Is getting this all walled off. So there's going to be a wall coming pretty much right here, going over, and then that wall is going to come back meet it right here. But yeah.
Earlier in the video, I mentioned I was having motor issues. Well, it turned out that one of the motors was damaged whenever we relocated the machine. It took some troubleshooting to figure out which motor. It's the left side there on the screen. But I eventually got it, ordered a replacement one, and got it installed. And here's me testing it for the first time. This is also the first time the machine is working since I purchased it, and I don't show it very well, but I'm pretty excited. I'm feeling a bit nervous about starting up this machine for the first time. I've read through all the operating manuals, but actually running it is a different story, especially with a machine this size. And here I'm testing the jog functions of the CNC just to ensure that it's kind of responding correctly in all the movement directions, and just making sure everything runs smoothly and accurately before we finally get started with some actual programmed work. Another feature is the CNC's vacuum table. It's pretty cool. Basically, it uses suction to hold the material down while cutting. It's like a giant suction cup that keeps everything in place, so you don't need any clamps. It's a game changer, especially for thinner materials that might shift or warp during regular clamping, and it makes the whole process a lot more smoother. And how I use clamps on thicker material is I use 3/4 inch sheets of melamine that basically get stuck, and I just sandwich larger pieces of wood all together to keep it in place, which you can see in this clip now. This next clip is the first program I'm running with Fusion 360 machining software, so it's a bit of a milestone to get everything hooked up and connected correctly. The goal here is to flatten this red oak slab and get it perfectly level. It's a pretty basic operation, but it's a pretty important one because we got to make sure everything's dialed in before we move into some of the more complex cuts like this one here. I'm just doing a little simple engraving operation to test out the depths and how stuff works, and I learned that for these you need a lot more clamping, so you see it shifted a little bit, but I got some more put in there to finish it up. But it was a pretty good test for the first kind of recessed engraving that I did. While flattening this other slab, I ran into a pretty confusing issue. As it turns out, the CNC is set to have the positive Z-axis going down into the table, while my Fusion program had it set with the positive Z going up out of the table. And this was causing some problems with how much material was being cut. It's definitely not what I wanted. I finally figured it out. I basically just had to flip the Z-axis in Fusion and then set the origin to the top of the table instead of the top of the material. But that wasn't the only issue. I also noticed that the cut height was changing with each pass. After some head scratching, I realized the cutting bit probably wasn't fully tightened in the collet and was actually drifting up and down. It's not ideal, but at least I caught it before it got worse. Back to some more framing in the shop. I'm working on making this future hallway a bit wider, just to make it easier for moving materials back and forth. And then I also decided to tear down the small concrete wall, since it was already in rough shape. Figured it was the perfect chance to open up the space and add a larger door here. Alright, that's a wrap for this episode. We covered a lot. A quick shop tour, got the CNC's electrical set up, started it up for the first time, fixed some issues, and even squeezed in some construction work. I'm also working on taking better videos, so stay tuned for more improvements. Plus, I got another series coming up that I'm working on. It's a desk build, and you probably won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.